What's up, clever masterminds? Clever Boy 86 here. So today I'm going to be ranking all 8 Harry Potter movies from worst to best. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I ordered the Harry Potter Ultimate Editions on Blu-ray from eBay, and those should be coming in the mail tomorrow. So super excited for that. But yesterday's vlog was like a Harry Potter themed vlog. I talked about how I got into Harry Potter, and I took the Sorting Hat quiz on Pottermore. And I was going to quickly do my ranking of the Harry Potter movies in yesterday's vlog, but I ended up filming till really late, and I was really tired, so I decided to do it for today's vlog, and that way I could dedicate a whole video to it. But anyway, so this is my ranking of the Harry Potter movies from worst to best. Alright, so number 8, we've got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Now, the reason why this is my least favorite Harry Potter movie is because I felt like Deathly Hallows Part 1 was really slow at some parts. There were some really great parts in Deathly Hallows Part 1, but a lot of the movie is pretty slow and kind of hard to sit through. Granted, it does pay off in Part 2. But yeah, one thing I did like about Deathly Hallows Part 1 was that it was set entirely out of Hogwarts. Alright, sorry for the angle change, guys. My camera actually fell down, so sorry about that. But yeah, so like I said, I liked how Deathly Hallows Part 1 was set entirely out of Hogwarts, and we saw Harry, Ron, and Hermione on the run looking for these Horcruxes to try and defeat Voldemort. And this movie got really intense at some parts. But there are 2 moments in Deathly Hallows Part 1 that really stand out to me. The first being that animated sequence telling the story of the Deathly Hallows. I thought that was a really great scene. And the second being Dobby's death, which was, in my opinion, one of the saddest scenes in the entire series. And there are some other cool scenes, like that chase through the woods. That was a pretty intense scene. But yeah, Deathly Hallows Part 1, it is my least favorite Harry Potter movie. I do think they could have reduced this movie down to like a half hour and just tacked it on to Deathly Hallows Part 2, and we wouldn't really have missed out on much. But, yeah, so anyways, that's number 8. Now we're on to number 7, which is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Now, the reason why Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is one of my least favorite Potter films is because I just didn't really enjoy this one that much. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a bad film or anything. You know, I don't think there is a bad Harry Potter film by any means, but there are just some that I enjoy watching more than others. And I just didn't really enjoy Half-Blood Prince as much. I mean, there are some really cool scenes, like the death of Dumbledore. That was a really sad scene when Snape kills Dumbledore. That was a really sad scene. And also when Harry uses the Sectum Sempra spell on Draco. That was a really great scene, and Draco almost bleeds to death. But yeah. Anyways, I did enjoy Half-Blood Prince, just not as much as some of the other films on this list. But yeah, this movie did get really intense in the 3rd act, and we saw some pretty crazy stuff happen. But yeah, overall, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, it is a good movie, but I just don't really like it as much as some of the other Harry Potter films. But yeah, it is still a good movie. But anyways, at number 6, we've got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And this is just a fun movie to watch. You know, obviously it's the first film in the Harry Potter series, and it's a really fun movie. You know, it's very lighthearted, and yeah, it's very funny at parts. Yeah, it's a really fun movie, and you know, it's crazy seeing how dark things get as the series goes on. You know, with each installment, the series just gets darker and darker, and it's one of my favorite parts about the Harry Potter series. But Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is definitely the lightest movie out of all of them. But anyways, some of my favorite scenes from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry's first Quidditch match, when he catches the golden snitch. I thought that was a really great scene. And the part where it's revealed that Professor Quirrell is really a bad guy, and he has two faces, and one of them is Voldemort living on the back of his head. I thought that was a really great scene as well. So yeah, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, it is a really fun movie to watch, and it's cool to just go back and look at how young Harry, Ron, and Hermione were, and that's one of my favorite parts about the series, is just watching them grow up, and I just think that's pretty cool. But anyway, so at number 5, we've got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now this one's a little bit darker than the first one. You know, you see Harry face off against this giant basilisk in the Chamber of Secrets that will literally kill you if you look at it. So yeah, that was pretty scary. And yeah, so this is definitely a little bit darker than the first one. But anyways, there are some really great scenes in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. You know, in the beginning of the movie when Harry meets Dobby, that was a really funny scene. And, you know, when Harry and Ron try to run through the wall to get to platform 9 3/4, and they can't get through, so they take the flying car, and they crash into the Whomping Willow. That was a really great scene. And then when Harry and Ron are in the forest with all those giant spiders, that was pretty scary. And obviously, you know, the end of the movie where Harry has to defeat this giant basilisk that's 20 times bigger than him. And also we get to see Tom Riddle in this movie. And I love when Harry realizes that Tom Riddle is Voldemort, because Tom Marvolo Riddle is an anagram for I am Lord Voldemort. I thought that was really clever. Alright, so now we're on to number 4, which for me would be Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So, sorry guys, I have the sniffles. I'm a little bit sick right now. But yeah, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. One thing I didn't really like about Goblet of Fire was that it felt very rushed. Like, it is a big book. From what I remember, it's like a 700-page book. So they had a lot of content that they had to condense into one movie. And as a result, it did feel very rushed at some parts. Like, we didn't get to see the Quidditch World Cup at the beginning of the movie. Like, we had this big setup. You know, everyone was going to this big event, and they just kind of skipped over it. So that was kind of disappointing. But yeah, Goblet of Fire did feel really rushed at some parts, but I think overall they did a really great job condensing the book into one movie. This was a turning point for the series. You know, Lord Voldemort returned, and yeah, so things got really intense. And so basically there's this thing called the Triwizard Tournament going on, and 3 schools are competing, and one kid from each school is going to be competing in this Triwizard Tournament. And Harry's not old enough to compete, but somehow his name was put into the Goblet of Fire. Obviously, he didn't do it, so we don't really know, you know, who put his name into the Goblet of Fire. And it's revealed that Mad-Eye Moody, who's the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, wasn't really him. It was Barty Crouch Jr., who was taking Polyjuice Potion to pretend that he was Mad-Eye Moody, and he put Harry's name into the Goblet of Fire. So I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, overall I thought Goblet of Fire was a really great film. There were some really intense scenes, you know, especially when Lord Voldemort returns. That was pretty intense. And, you know, when Harry faces off against that dragon, that was also a really great scene. But yeah, I thought Goblet of Fire was a really great film. And, yeah. So anyways, now we're on to number 3. We're in the top 3. And for me, number 3 would be Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, I know this is a lot of people's favorite Harry Potter movie, and it is a really great movie, but it's just not my favorite. I still think it's a really great film. I think Alfonso Cuarón did an amazing job with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. You know, it felt so much different than Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, and it just brought this new energy to the series. And one thing I noticed, I'm sure others noticed this too, but it just looks different than Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. Like, the colors are different, and it just looks different. And I think it really set the tone for the rest of the series. And, some of my favorite scenes from Prisoner of Azkaban, definitely when Harry is riding Buckbeak the Hippogriff. I thought that was a really great scene. Also at the beginning of the movie when Harry blows up Aunt Marge. She was talking all this shit about Harry and his parents, and Harry basically turns her into a giant human balloon. So I thought that was really funny. But yeah, anyways, Prisoner of Azkaban was just a really great film, you know. Oh, also when Hermione punches Draco in the face, that was really satisfying.
Malfoy, you okay? Let's go. Come, quick. Let's go. Run. A word to anyone, understood?
That felt good.
We were also introduced to the Dementors for the first time, so they were definitely pretty scary. And we also met Professor Lupin and Sirius Black, so we got to see some new characters. And I loved how, you know, in the beginning, Sirius Black was portrayed as, you know, this prisoner who's escaped, and you know, he's crazy and he's a bad guy and all that, but in the end it turns out that he's actually a good guy, and that he's actually Harry's godfather. So I thought that was really cool. Anyway, so Prisoner of Azkaban, definitely really great film. But anyways, now we're on to number 2, which is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, I think this is such an underrated movie. Like, I know a lot of people don't really like Order of the Phoenix, but I personally love it. I think it's a really great film. And I just think there's so many great scenes in Order of the Phoenix. Dolores Umbridge, oh my God, she was the worst. I hated her. And but the actress who plays her, I forget her name, but she did an amazing job playing Umbridge. And one of my favorite scenes in Order of the Phoenix is the battle towards the end of the movie where Sirius Black dies. That was a really sad scene. And so I just thought Order of the Phoenix was a really great film. Also, the fight between Voldemort and Dumbledore, I loved that scene. I thought that was amazing. But yeah, I honestly feel like Order of the Phoenix is a really underrated movie, and I love how Harry starts Dumbledore's army, where he's basically teaching all of his classmates how to really defend themselves, because he knows Voldemort is back, and he's trying to tell everyone that Voldemort is back, but they just don't believe him. And so he teaches them, you know, how to really defend themselves. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I just think Order of the Phoenix is really underrated. And for me, it's my second favorite Harry Potter film. But now we're on to my favorite Harry Potter movie. And you guessed it, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. This was the conclusion to the Harry Potter series. And I loved Deathly Hallows Part 2. Right from the beginning, it is a roller coaster. You know, they don't have to set anything up because it was all set up in Deathly Hallows Part 1. So right from the beginning of the movie, it's just a roller coaster, and it does not stop. You know, there's just so many great scenes in Deathly Hallows Part 2. You know, Harry, Ron, and Hermione riding a dragon and breaking out of Gringotts. That was a really great scene. The battle for Hogwarts was really intense. And, you know, the death of Professor Snape. You know, the scene where Harry goes into the Forbidden Forest and meets Voldemort face to face. And it looks like Harry sacrifices himself. You know, Voldemort uses the Avada Kedavra curse on him. And it looks like Voldemort kills Harry, but it's revealed that Harry is still alive. And that was a really great scene. And then, the final battle between Harry and Voldemort. This was just such a great film from beginning to end. And there's just so many amazing scenes. It's definitely a roller coaster. And for me, it is the best film in the Harry Potter series. It wraps up the series nicely. And I know a lot of people don't like the 19 years later ending. I really don't mind it. I thought it was a really cool ending to see just a glimpse of Harry and Ginny's kids and Ron and Hermione's kids. I just thought that was really cool. But yeah, anyways, Deathly Hallows Part 2 is just an amazing movie. And yeah, I loved it. So anyways, that's my ranking of the Harry Potter film series. This video went way longer than I intended. But anyways, I'm going to end the vlog here. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you all for the next one. Alright, bye guys.